it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup, where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. Now, I tend to like all of the palettes I use. If I don't, I usually like declutter or try to focus on them to see if there's something in particular I don't like. Yeah, but for whatever reason, sometimes I like one palette over the other that week. So this week I do have 10 slots and a variety of palettes because I combined some reappear in the ranking. So I do have some notes right here just to remind me of the order. And I did not include my single shadows, though I have been using them this past week or so. I'm thinking of doing a week of single shadows, so let me know if that sounds like something you'd be up for. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. At number 10, I combined two palettes. The first one is the Space Chemistry palette from Terra Moons. This is one of their more recent palettes, and I do want to note that this shade here, Meteor Sand, it's actually a different eyeshadow shade in the original layout of the palette, but you could ask the brand to switch that shade out for something else. And the shade that I got was this one here called Perseus, and it is like a gray with blue undertones, so really cute. They picked it out for me because I couldn't decide on which one. So yeah, it goes really well with the shimmers here. There is another matte here that's a bit lighter, a like light brown, I would say, like a like coffee with cream kind of brown. And mainly I stuck with the shimmers from here, and I pulled some mattes from the Cosmic Wanderer palette from Terra Moons. So you can see these are deeper, more jewel tone shades, and I found that the mattes went really well with the shimmers from Space Chemistry. So basically number 10 is Terra Moons. Number 9 is a combination of like 3 palettes, and let me see. I use these palettes in the video where I'm talking about beauty within a context of Black History Month. So one of the things I use, of course, is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Look at that. Look at that. Love it. This is, I mean, I think, again, this is going to be my most used of the year. It gets used like almost every day. So there is that. I combined that with the Rebellious Nudes palette from Colored Raine. So I used these shades down here, the mattes. And then I paired both of those with the Pat McGrath Mothership, her Divine Rose palette. So if you want to see that look, definitely check out that video. I also talk about like the history of, some of the history of beauty within the Black community and kind of anchor it within the context of Black History Month. All right, so that was number 9. Number 8 is the Mini Gold palette from Natasha Denona. Now, I use this one because I always get compliments when I wear green eyeshadow, and last year was like my first time really using more green shadow, and it seemed to go over pretty well for most people. So I thought, let me use more green this year. And I took this with me to work. Gosh, was it 2 weeks ago? I don't even know, child. I just remember I took it to work and I did a green look. So I really liked this. I would say this mini is maybe one of the ones I use the least from Natasha Denona, but on this green journey, I think I'm going to try to use it more. I like her minis. I like how portable they are. I like being able to throw them in a bag, and they're good for like travel and stuff. So yeah, I used this for the look and I really enjoyed it. Okay, number 7. Pat McGrath makes another appearance, and I used her Bronze Seduction palette. I really enjoyed this. Like, typically I think a lot of us gravitate towards this shade here, but I actually didn't. I tried to use other shades, and I really enjoyed the fact that I could do that. Like, don't have to just have this red look going on using this palette, because I think that red shadow is like, it jumps out at you from the palette. But I used a few of the other shades, more of the pinky golds, and I really enjoyed this look. I thought it was really pretty, and I am pulling my Pat McGrath motherships out more to use, because I think a lot of us like keep them tucked away like they are, you know, royal jewels, which they are. But I do want to make sure to use my motherships more, and I tend to like all of the looks I do. That was number 7. Okay, number 6 is the Menagerie Sugar High palette. And with this look, I did a lot of just random colors, but I really liked the way it turned out. I felt like I looked like a creamsicle a little bit, giving you, you know, frozen ice cream vibes. So this is a palette that I always enjoy. I particularly like the shimmers. I noticed that I gravitate a lot towards this one, and this one, I would say. But I really like them, and I enjoyed the look that I did. It was a little like funky, weird, in my opinion, but I really enjoyed it either way. I think it would be a great look for like the spring summer. It had a lot of springy, summery colors. That was number 6. Number 5 is actually the Nabla Side by Side Nude palette, the baby version. So I did a fairly neutral look. That's what you get with this palette. And the larger side by side, like the OG, was like one of my favorite palettes, period. But I had it for so long, and I panned like 6 or 7 shades. I think I could be overreaching. So when they came out with the baby, I was like, oh, I want to get it. Now I think I still like the original more than the baby, like almost to the point where I'm thinking of getting the original again. But the baby is a lot more portable. I think it's cute. It's really cohesive in terms of the shades that they have in here. I feel like they could have taken out like one of these and even one of these and put in something else. But I think for the purposes of getting a quick, neutral, easy, everyday kind of look, then it's a good choice. Okay, now number 4. Hold on. There's a reappearance. So I think there are 2 looks here. There's one that I did with the groundwork, because why not? And in this one, typically I stay with some of these warmer tones here, but I actually used Stone and Chiseled, and then I used some of the browns along with it, and of course tourmaline, which is the black. This was just for a quick look, all matte or all cream pomade or whatevs. But I just wanted to use more of those cooler tones just because I don't tend to go toward them. And along with that, there was a look that I did where it wasn't even an eyeshadow. It was actually just a bronzer. So I am dropping things as per usual. I have these 2 colored Raine bronzers. This one is Mocha Queen, and then this one is Naughty Spice. So I just went in with some bronzer, put it like in the crease, a little bit over my eye, and rocked it as a supernatural look. And I really enjoyed it. I feel like I have been recently doing more like natural looks in terms of, I'm really thinking of it in terms of coverage, and I've been surprisingly really enjoying the Tom Ford, is it the Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. I have it in the shade 11 Dusk, and this has like barely any coverage in my opinion, but I've enjoyed just using this, applying it with my fingers surprisingly, and then kind of patting it in with a brush or a sponge or something for when I just want like just a little something, you know, nothing too deep. And I've been liking it. I've been liking it a lot. So that is number 4. Oh, sorry, somebody texted me. Number 3 is actually the look I have on my eyes today. check that out. And it is the new Adept Flying Fiddles palette. Here it is. I used Daylily along with Tan Toffee Rose and Viola Bronze with a little bit of, what was a little bit of something else on top, girl. I think it was Meadow Foam, maybe. So that is the look that I have today. I really like it. Actually, I just realized I like these mattes in the Adept palette. Like, a lot of times I'm like, with their mattes, but I'm realizing these mattes were really easy to use. They're pigmented, smooth. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. But as I'm sitting here going over the shades that I used, I really like the mattes. I'll have to compare these mattes to the other Adept palettes I have, but I'm almost pretty certain I can say that these mattes are the ones that I like the best out of their palettes. I'll have to think about that for sure. I have quite a few of their other palettes, if not all of them. And they're not necessarily, I think you'll hear everybody say they're not necessarily known for their mattes, but they did a good job with this one. And I love this packaging. Let me know if you want me to do more looks or even swatches with this palette. Because it's pretty, yeah. So I really like this look today. I think it's super cute. At number 2, so not palettes again, no, liar. I used a combination. I did this, I used these products in the collab video I did with Jan and Erica. It was like our Valentine's kind of collab, so it's a few videos back. But first I went in with the CoverFX matte from Danessa Myricks in Primary Red, and then I topped that with the Menagerie Sugar High palette, the shade Ruby. So it was a super like pretty red look, and then I just did a black winged liner. I know I put a little something in the inner corner as well, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But I really enjoyed this look, and I enjoyed using the CoverFix matte. I really like the more primary color ones. I think Jessa got me this one as well as this blue one. I wanted their primary blue, but they have been out of it, so she got me cobalt, and I think she got me a yellow one. I saw that the other day, but I don't know where it is. I'm still sort of discombobulated from my trip home. Like, I don't know where stuff is. But I really liked using this, and I'm excited. I kind of want to do a red wing, but I don't know if that's going to make me look something. It feels like a choice. And then at number 1, this actually is a series of looks, and there are 4 looks I did with this, and I only took pictures of 3, but it is the Colored Raine Cam Quad Volume 1. I did a video doing looks with each of these quads. I think this is a pretty cool idea. I would love this even more if the pans were magnetic. I do think you could probably like take these out for those of us who like sort of deconstructing palettes. I feel like there are ways, like I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm not ready to do it. Catch me on a different day in a different mood, and this will probably be depotted. But how they put these together is there are 3 mattes and 1 shimmer in each quad, and the quads are identified by like the name of the quad. So this is the Classy Quad, this is the Lavish Quad, here we have the Vacay Quad, and then we have the Lit Quad. And surprisingly, I really liked the Lit Quad with the green, and I also really enjoyed the Vacay Quad, which isn't surprising because I tend to really enjoy pinks. Whew. So that is it, okay? I think that is everything that I used except for my singles. And next time I'm going to remember what singles I used before I put them back into their designated spots. Let me know what you used over the past week. Let me know if you had a favorite that popped up out of all of these. And I'm looking forward to next week. Yeah, and I'm gonna maybe dedicate the week to singles if I have enough time to like plan ahead. So that's an idea. I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.